That's what we need. He's so follow. Oh, Lord. He's never coming back here.
He's supposed to have cockroaches. That's a roach.
not going to drag this out by any stretch, but we also want you to feel prepared, at ease, any lingering questions that you may have before the start of the school year. We want to give you a chance to ask those questions. So this is what tonight's for, to kind of put you at ease before we start an exciting new school year. So first of all, congratulations, welcome to having a freshman or a new student here at West. Today was an absolutely awesome day. New student orientation, the students were kind, respectful. They had a great time for cheerleaders. Cheerleaders brought lots of energy. I don't know if your students told them about their welcome, but it was one for the books. It was really great. So I am Beth Coffey. I've been one of the two sending you emails over the summer. I am a Spanish teacher here and also one of the co-student activities coordinators. My counterpart,
I am Susan Dollarton. I'm part of the math department here, and I am the other half of student activities. And basically, our position here at school is to attempt to, as actually one of the transfer students just said, is it like High School Musical here? Because that's what I want it to be. And I said that we are working on that. We have not gotten to High School Musical status just yet, but that we are trying to increase student spirit and student involvement as best as we can from 7:30 to 2:30. So Beth and I are ready to take on that challenge, and we did actually have a great day. I think it was a great way to kick off for the kids to see what we can be here and the energy that we would like to bring. The peer leaders set a great example, and we hope that your children join in. There's so much opportunity here at West, and if they don't see something that they want or need help finding it, we have relocated our office right in the central hub of where the kids are, which is going to be great for our old students, and now the new ones coming in, they can pop in, and between the two of us, we will get them to where they need to be.
And when we are in the classroom, we also have a full-time secretary who works with us. She's in the office all day long. So she's very responsive for emails for you if you have questions, but we also use her as a middle woman all day long. She's phenomenal. This piece of paper, I just want to highlight this first before we introduce people that are way more important than us. So this paper here, we just kind of did as a quick sheet. The main thing is, like we said, we want to get kids involved, but also get you plugged in as well. There are things constantly going on in this school. Something that this is my third year in this position, and I did not realize how often this school is used outside of 2:30. There's always something going on, whether it's in this auditorium, the other auditorium, the gym, athletics, theaters, arts. So there are more than a million ways to get plugged in, to be involved. Even if you might not want to play the sport, come watch it. You don't want to be on the stage, but you want to watch the stage. But ways to stay involved, those Instagrams to follow, I can't recommend enough. We repost each other's things. Every club usually has an Instagram, so if they're having a meeting, we'll repost it for them. The class advisors who you meet, they'll have information specifically for freshmen. So I do recommend getting plugged into the Instagrams. Also, just the Cherry Hill West one that is run by our administration also gives great information, the athletics one. So we try to all work together, but it is a great way for you as parents to get involved, plus get your students to know what's happening. When are tickets on sale for the homecoming dance? When is the lip sync in November before Thanksgiving? So there's lots of events coming up that you want to be plugged in with. All those.
Yep, I was just going to chime in. Other ways to get involved. Crystal Lucas could possibly be here. I know she's going to be arriving at some point speaking on behalf of the West PTA. I mean, can't stress enough, it would be phenomenal to kind of grow that group. So if you have any interest in supporting and or helping and volunteering time, would be phenomenal. Also would like to recognize that we have a board member present to also be available, I think, for Q&A. Joel Mayer is present. He has 2 West graduates as well as a current senior. So an excellent parent to talk to about how awesome West is. And obviously too, if you have any concerns at a larger realm, he is available. He will be standing probably at the back door. You can't miss him. Yep, he's right here so that you know who he is. Joel Mayer. Yep, purple to rep, just like the rest of us.
Also on here is you'll see clubs that are available. Most clubs, not all, most clubs will meet during that LB lunchtime or after school. And that's something that they want to find out about a Google Classroom or an Instagram to stay up on when that is. If you scan that QR code, it's also available on the student activities page. There are, I don't even know how many clubs there are. A whole lot. At one point last year we counted. There's a whole lot of clubs. If a kid has an interest and they can find a couple friends and a class advisor, we make the club, right? Board game club, I can't even think of them, but there's a long list. So I encourage you to go through it with your student. They talked to the peer leaders about it today, but maybe a little reiteration. What makes a difference in their 4 years is getting involved in something special. Athletics, drama, maybe it is just that lunchtime. I don't know, chess club we have lost in the last couple years. They really like chess, let's bring it back, right? So we're all for, if a student has an idea, we will make it happen. Yep, it's a fundraiser they want to get going, we will make it happen. So it's great to see what we have. The process to start one's easy. They just got to come see us in our office and fill out their paperwork. So I would encourage you to look at the club list with them. If there's something of interest, honor societies, journalism club, they're all on there for them to look at. The important dates that are coming up. Back to school night is September 11th. The clothing will also be on sale at back to school night, and the PTA will also be back at back to school night. We would love to see you. The teachers would love to see you. One of the things that I think is best about West is the teachers. And I think that the teachers really, we love people. Right? We love our
The West staff.
The West staff. That's the word I'm looking for. The
Yes.
West staff.
We shine.
We do. So I encourage you to come back to school night so you can see the face-to-face of who your students are talking to. We invest in the students. We love the students in our classroom. So I encourage you to come out on September 11th. That's not the Eagles game, right? No. That's the week before. That's all that matters. Okay, so it's not that night. So we would love to see you on that night. Like I said, we'll be selling things. We're going to have an activities fair, so all these clubs that we've talked about, they will have a table in the gym during lunch. So if they want to like meet the people in it, meet the advisors, that date is on there. Underclassmen photo, I just want to put that date out there. It may change. And if it does, I will send out a blast email. We will send out a blast email to all the parents, just so you know if they want to wear something special. They tend not to. But if they would like to wear something special for their school photos, that date might change due to a scheduling thing. So just keep that under wraps. If you have questions for us at any time regarding student activity stuff, dances that are coming up, eventually senior trip type stuff, don't hesitate to ask us. It's not too early to start thinking about those things in the future. CHW Activities is our Instagram and our email. One of the three of us will get back to you. Great. Awesome. Let's introduce Dr. Burns.
That's right. Thank you. So I am Dr. Burns. I'm the principal here at High School West in my 3rd year, but I am also a 19-something graduate of the school. We don't share the year because I'm getting older and older. I just want to encourage, you to encourage your children to get involved in something here, whether it's during the school day or after school. We have a number of the clubs and activities and sports that really help make the high school experience something fun and exciting for them. Just to start out, how many of you, this is your first high school student that is coming to High School West? Okay. How many of you it is your last high school student? Oh, that hand shot up. That hand went up way too fast. But, so you see there's a range in the room. So this is, it's exciting. It's, if it's your first or if it's your last. Enjoying the experience with your student is something fun. I'm going through that myself because I'm in a different phase of my life, but I am reliving middle school now, even though I did middle school a long time ago. And just that experience of being with the student, with their friends, and seeing everything is very good. We have a lot of sports here. That's also something, and fall sports have already started. So if your child is interested in a fall sport as a freshman, and and the teams are still accepting players, I would reach out to the athletic office to get signed up for that. We do have 30 sports at the varsity level. We have 19 or so JV teams, about 11 freshman teams. And we do pretty well. Last year, our girls won the state basketball championship. It was very exciting. Took the whole school on a really exciting ride. So I put the challenge to the coaches. I said, which one of you wins the next state championship? Because the year before, we won it in volleyball, boys volleyball. So I said, no pressure, but let's see who can get us the next one. We do have academic support, so that's very important. So not only do we, are we concerned about athletics activities, but understand we are an academic institution. So we do understand that students will sometimes struggle. There's time built into the day. The teachers do have homerooms where they will figure out with your student how they can get together to meet. If not before school or after school, we also have National Honor Society student tutors. We also have homework club. In past years, it has taken place after school and at night. We will see what the availability of everybody is and what that will look like for this year. The one question I have is, have your children done the summer reading yet? Okay? If not, there's still a few days to get it done. We are working on the reading. I'm currently reading Boys in the Boat. So it's been a good read, but you need to make sure it's getting done, because the expectation is that students will walk in and be able to talk about the themes and the different, not assignments necessarily, but different questions that they were supposed to think about as they were doing the reading. So if you're not aware of that, just check in with your child to make sure that they are prepared as we get started on the school year. There's a plug for the math skills too, make sure. All right, so we understand the transition. In terms of counting, everything counts now. So in middle school, if you didn't pass a class or something didn't work out, that doesn't apply here at the high school. There are state graduation requirements. There must be 120 credits that are earned by students. And if a student fails a course that is required by the state or the district for graduation, they will have to take it again or take some other online version of it, because the requirement must be satisfied before we can issue a diploma. So people need to understand that. The days are long. High school days are long for you and for your child, but the years go by quickly. Those of you for whom this is your last child going through, I think you would agree with me that the time has flown by, and now you're like, well, I have a senior, right? I mean, I went through that with my own. I couldn't believe how fast it went. School starts at what time? 7:30. That means that your child is in a seat at 7:30, not pulling up to the school at 7:30. That's late. Your child must be in a seat in their classroom at 7:30. So if you haven't started to practice the dialing back of waking up at 10 o'clock in the morning or 2 o'clock in the afternoon, 9 o'clock, 8 o'clock, you got a little bit of time, because you don't want that first day to be a shock. Hey, we got to go. It's 7 o'clock, 6:30, whatever. We got to go. Need that practice to develop those good habits. I went through that. If the bus is late, your child is good in terms of being the late and the excuse, correct. But if you are bringing the child and they are late, it's a late that counts on their record. So please get them here on time. I will tell the students, I will tell you, I will put it in my email newsletters that will go out every Friday. There are no lines or no waiting at 7:10, 7:15. There's absolutely nothing wrong with arriving to this building at 7:10 and 7:15. What I don't want to hear, I'm just going to be direct with this, that, oh, well, the traffic is so busy at 7:25. That's kind of on you guys. All right, we open the doors at 7 a.m. and we supervise children. We have staff who are here if you want to drop off earlier. stagger how you arrive, 7:10, 7:15, 7:20 is pushing it, but still plenty of time to get inside the building, in the classroom, ready to go, ready to learn. Right, and breakfast is available for those students, free and reduced lunch. We do take care of that. And I would urge you to read the email newsletters that I put out. I put them out, I put 2 blasts out so far this summer in August, and I do send something every week. There's a lot of information there that has things in it that are obviously appropriate to what's going on here in the building. We will send out, did we give out the support documents and things? Perfect. So look at that. The QR code will kind of give you like a one-page sheet of who does what here and who to go to for support, whether it be you as the parent or for your child, if they have a question, trying to figure it out. So high school is kind of like a transition point, and you're trying to, you want to be involved, but you also have to let them grow too and advocate for themselves, because they're going to have to do that, in 4 years when they leave high school west. They're going to be 18 most likely and going to be able to, make decisions and things like that. So helping them with that transition is very important. Their high school experience won't necessarily look like yours. So you need to let them have it be their own, and that's very important. We operate on the West Way, which is 3 things of kindness, diversity, and legacy. I speak a lot about legacy. I think of my own legacy when I was a student here to now, I was an assistant principal, now I'm a building principal, and how I will leave this place when I'm finished with my time, what kind of legacy will there be. Now, just one last thing to talk about. As parents, if you're experiencing high school for the first time, please understand that there are students who are probably just turning 14 or so, up to 21. So there's a wide range of students that are here, in some of our special ed programs, functional, vocational, things like that. So there's a wide age range. We try to look for age-appropriate behavior. We do understand, that students sometimes don't make the best choices, and that's, where we work in the grade level offices to try to help students, with these things. We have our first football game on Thursday. Some of the conversations that may need to happen as we approach school and start school are related to driving. Do you want your child riding in a car with another student? If you haven't thought about that yet, probably want to. What are you okay with as parents, guardians? What's acceptable in your house? What isn't? Dating. Okay. Now we're at a point where there could be a senior who might be asking your freshman, "Hey, can we go out and hang out, do something, go somewhere?" How do you feel about that? Have you had that conversation at home? So that the expectations you set are clear, that you kind of are guiding the children as you as a family wants to have that happen. Leaving them home alone. So there's always a thing about the parents want to go out to eat and they'll leave the student home alone, and the student says, "Well, can I have a few friends over?" Now they may talk to the parents about this, or they may not. They might talk to a friend, "Hey, you want to come over tonight?" And then next thing you know, half of our school is at your house. And we've had this happen. Because I worked at High School East for 17 years before I came over here, and I've been an administrator for a long time. I've seen a lot of different things. We had to call a parent who was in another country. Grandma was kind of watching the house, and we caught wind that there was going to be a large party at the house. So we finally got a hold of parents, kind of explained the situation. Grandma really didn't have any idea what was going to happen, but a lot of the school was going to be at their house. So we ask you to think about that and make sure you're having those conversations, setting the expectations that you are comfortable with. But please know, if we catch wind of something, we will do our best to try to let you know. If you tell us, yeah, I'm aware and I'm okay with it, okay, we're going to document that we called you. But if you're not aware, then we will try our best to help you with the situation. Also, with regards to dating, is there an age limit to how old somebody can be to be with your freshman student? Okay, again, another thing just to think about. So I just put that out there not to scare you, but these are conversations that you need to have, as the adults, in the home, what you're thinking of, what you're comfortable with, and then with the student, with your child, just so that everybody's clear, clear expectation. One thing we are clear about here at High School West is the cell phone policy. While we don't take cell phones, we do have a policy that they cannot be out during class time. And I have to ask you parents, please do not call your children during class time. Because I've had it happen, and I walk up to a student who's out in the hallway, they're on the phone with a parent, well, it's my mom. I really don't care. The policy is not during class time. I have published and will publish the class times or the available times if you needed to reach your student by phone. I would ask that you please respect them. You can text them anytime, but expect a response in the windows that I outlined. Okay, by calling them during the day, then you put them in an uncomfortable position of dealing with an adult who's, following what the school rules and what the district policy is, and that gets tricky. If it's an absolute emergency, you should call an office and have an adult relay that information to your students, maybe guidance counselor, something like that. But the instant accessibility, please respect that we hold our classroom time precious, and we also need them to understand that in a job, they might not have access to their phones all the time, and that's pretty important. That's really it. So I am here, we are here, we want the best for your children, we want them to enjoy their high school experience. We like high school, some of us have never left. It's a long time for me of doing school. We'll just leave it at that. I will turn it back over to Ms. Coffey.
Next is a very important individual for your freshmen, which will be their house principal, their house assistant principal, Ms. Chinn-Parker. Will be with them for 4 years.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to some of you. Dr. Byrne gave a lot of information. Chew on the fat, eat the meat, spit out the bones. You will experience, those who are new, will experience this throughout the time frame moving forward. My role is I am to interact with the students on a regular, daily basis between attendance, between schedules, between discipline, between every other little thing that occurs, activities, class activities, the class of 2029 activities. I'll be involved in the majority of those things. A couple of things that was touched upon were we are in high school now. High school it changes the dynamics of who walked out your door and came in June and who is leaving in September. Okay? Very different individuals. My suggestion is to, if you're involved, they're going to be involved. Meaning, so we have PTA. I don't know if our PTA president or personnel got here. However, I will do a shameless plug. I was that involved parents. My son had a phenomenal high school experience because everything that he did, I think I did high school all over again. And then the same thing with my daughter. When you're involved and you love the school, when you like the school, they will enjoy the school. When he was going away to college, one of the coaches said, now this is to the moms. If you like the school, he'll come here. Really? I like the school that much, that's the school we chose. So being involved matters. They might have called you guys for everything your child does. We don't have the time in the day to do it. If it's egregious, I'm calling. If it's something that they can grow from, not gonna get a phone call, right? If I see that they have a blue friend that I'm not really aligned with, not gonna call you about it, but I'm hoping that you'll find out about the blue friend and you call me about it, right? I won't give you the gossip because I'm not allowed to. However, right, I can be aware and I can redirect as necessary. Anything that's going to cause harm, that is going to change the direction of your child, we will be a part of that process. We will be in that discussion with you. Okay? We have student advocate, we have guidance, we have 3 other administrators. We all are like a blanket. We weave into each other's worlds. I will tell you, I've always been an intrusive principal, administrator. I started at Coffey here in the district. So I probably had Mr. Mayor's child at one point in time, right? And then I went to East, and I'm here. So I know 3 different dynamics of our school district environments. So it's nothing that we've seen, and nothing that I have not seen. Okay, so I just want you to know, I'm Miss Chinn-Parker. You probably will never hear the Chin again. I'm Mrs. Parker. I'm a 9th grade administrator. I am housed in the front. We call our spaces house offices. I'm in the front of the building, actually next to Dr. Burns. We got a really major complaint. Come to see you and calm down so we can have you. I don't want to eat. 30 years in, I don't want to eat. I don't have the energy anymore. But really, I want you to understand that this can be a whirlwind of fun and excitement. Our student activities coordinators are amazing individuals. Ms. Dollarton has energy that is like beyond, that no one should have. No one should have that energy. So when they talk about, whoever asked about the high school musical, it's doable, it's possible. But we also need the help of you. So when PTA says, hey, I need that $10, okay? When they say we need you to come out and just stand here and show up, come out and stand and show up. Anytime that we ask you all to show up at a game, we ask you to show up at the volleyball, and don't just do the good, the high focus sports. Do those low maintenance sports too. I don't know what they are now, but do what those low maintenance sports are. Come out to the plays, support the children. When I say be involved, be involved. Live your experience through their eyes, and you will have a lot to talk about. I want you guys to have a great evening.
Okay, next up, 2 more important people in your freshman child's world. These are your class advisors, Miss Malone and Miss Bryson. Ironically, we are a mathematical tag team right here, so math counts in our world. But we wanted to provide an opportunity for them to briefly just introduce themselves and, yeah, some good stuff.
Hi, everybody. So my name is Michelle Balloon. I'm a teacher of my 5th year here, and I'm a math teacher. Like I said, I'm teaching geometry to some of the freshmen this year.
I'm Miss Bryson, also one of the math teachers. This will be my 3rd year here. I'm Algebra 1 and Geometry, so I should have a lot of the freshmen. You might also see me out. I help out with boys soccer. I'm a part or help out with Asian Culture Club, so just trying to get myself everywhere so that people can, see me, know that I'm involved.
And our most important goal with the kids is hopefully going to be the fun stuff. We're going to be doing Spirit Week, activities, events. We have the class Instagram, which you'll see on your sheet. One of the handles is for the class of 2029. And we're going to post as much as we can, not only all of the events like I had mentioned before, but ones especially for the freshmen. Like, hey guys, sign up for this. Or hey, come out to this game. And just try to encourage the class to be together as many times as possible. As everyone here has said, involvement is huge. I know it from my 12 years of teaching and my time in school as well. But we really hope that this class, who we will be with the next 4 years, will be a tight-knit group. So all we do is ask you guys to join that Instagram as well, follow along, and like I said, come on out too. The more the merrier.
And just for the Instagram page, I try following as many of our clubs as possible, so we don't have a list, but that's like an unofficial go through our following list, see what clubs there already have. I'm also trying to save sports schedules. They post them. I'm going to try to repost those just so you can see like just a base for freshman information, student activities information, and all come from like our Instagram page as a last resort instead of, well, you got the football page over here and then the student activities page over there, and it just might get all lost in the algorithm. So just, you could follow that page.
Thank you.
One last thing I'll say for the class advisors too, if you have a student that is interested in getting involved in the executive part of it, they'll like shortly be reaching out to students that want to be involved in their specific student government for the class to be the leaders of the group. So everyone is invited to Spirit Week things, but there will be a small group of the advisors and students that'll spearhead like choreographing the dance or decorating the hallways. Everyone's invited, but there will be a student group. So if you know your student is into that type of stuff or be a good fit, you know, artistic minds have some, or they're organized, or they want to organize a fundraiser, they're going to be looking for an executive student government group to start working. They can always jump in other years, but to start freshman year and work 4 years together creates a really special relationship, and you really make a legacy on the 4 years. So be looking out for that, but also maybe mention it to your students if that's something that they can get involved in specifically for their class. Like prom location, they might want to say. And lastly, but not least, Ms. Lucas is going to come up and talk on behalf of the PTA, as we've mentioned multiple times here. So I'll hand it over to Ms. Lucas. Thank you.
As she said, my name is Melissa Lucas. This will be, I'm your PTA president for the 25-26 school year. I've been involved with PTA since my daughter was 3 years old at Barclay, which is now Malvern. And now, just because our kids are freshmen in high school doesn't mean that they don't still need us. Now more than ever, it's important for you to stay informed because let's be honest, our teens aren't going to share everything with us. So by joining PTA, it's a great way for you to stay informed, stay involved, be up to date on everything that's going on. You'll notice that a large portion of the money we raise throughout the year is for Project Graduation, which is a drug-free, fun evening on the night of graduation for our seniors. Just get together and be safe for the night. We currently have a mom's fundraiser going on right now, if anybody's seen that flyer. You can follow us on Facebook. Every week we'll have a letter that goes out through Dr. Burns with everything PTA. Look forward to seeing you all throughout the year. And if you want to get involved, please, we'd love to have you out. Thanks. You're welcome.
Perfect. So we're kind of at a point where we're at the end of what we wanted to present to you, but we did want to provide an opportunity if anybody had questions that you feel like something maybe that was not addressed by one of us. Yep, and then we'll just take them, and I'm just going to repeat for the live stream. Okay, so the question is, are clubs categorized or sorted in a sense by grade level? And the answer would be no. I would say the majority of all of our clubs are grades 9 through 12. You can be involved in any club that exists and be any grade level.
The only one that's grade level would be the class advisor, student
Yep.
government, and after the 1X.
So each class has a government, so that would be specific. Then we do have an overall government as well that's run by Mr. Broadbelt. That is a collective group. And then 1X through the theater department is a specific, we should actually advertise. They just announced ELF. Yep, our fall production will be ELF. But then during the school year, there is a production called 1X, and that is grade level specific. Yeah, sure. Any other questions? Yes. Yeah, no problem. Question is, how many students would it take to create a club? And honestly, I would say that it would take, okay, there we go. I would say 4, and then they also need to get a teacher of interest. So say your child wants to start a club, friends, there's 4 of them. They would have to find one teacher within the building that would be interested in being their advisor, and then they would come to us. We would set them up as far as an active club, and then they're good to go. Yeah, of course. Any other questions? Yes. The question is, are there late buses for after-school activities? And the answer is yes. They run at 4 o'clock. Yes, still 4 o'clock or 4:15? Between 4 and 4:15, and I believe the pickup is at the Jones Gym. Oh, good recall. I'm at the Jones Gym for pickup for the afternoon. The 2:30 buses are actually still organized at the same spot over here where drop-off is. But in the afternoon, for the late bus, it would happen down at Jones Gym. Any other questions? Yes?
Do you have any like STEM programs?
STEM programs. Question on the table is, do we have any STEM programs? I think there is a club, but Dr. Burns is going to take over on that one.
We do have a Science Olympiad Club. In terms of a STEM program, some of the courses will lend themselves or lead towards a lot of having a lot of experience in science, or technology, engineering, and math. Robotics we have as a club. We have an intro to engineering course, and some people even like to call STEAM and add the art component. So if the student is interested in that sort of track, they would be working with their guidance counselor and tailoring their schedules and the club interests to fit a STEM kind of profile. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, thank you.
Any other questions? Yes?
Is there an acceptable location to drop off your students in the morning?
The question is there an acceptable spot to drop off your student in the morning? And that would be car drop-off, and Dr. Burns is going to take this one too.
I will. If you get a chance, please look at the email blast that went out yesterday. It does have that information. We do drop off at the Jones Gym area. So you come in off of Chapel Avenue, come down the hill, Murray Avenue, down the hill into the school. You drop off at the end. There's adults there who will make sure the students get into the building. I should have said this earlier. The mantra is drop and drive. It is not stop, hang out, start another conversation, slowly get out of the car, switch driver. No. There are too many people behind you. The parents will be hot that you are delaying their child getting into the building. So drop and drive. Now, that's the main one. If your child is late, it's after 7:30, campus police will allow you then to come into the front entrance and drop off your student, because the main entrance will be the only doors that are accessible to students after 7:30. There's also another drop-off that I don't promote, that is out here on the hospital side, because it's dangerous. You are not allowed to cut through the hospital lot. The hospital lot is private property. There is a road that comes from around behind the hospital. They don't want you there. If you're not a hospital employee or a hospital visitor, they want you to stay out of their lot. They call me and complain that the parents cut through there all the time. They'll post their own people and discourage that. But some parents will, coming from like Kingston, down that way, come up Chapel, turn onto Marlboro and drop off. I will be out there. I will direct you as to where you can drop off. But if you cut through the hospital lot, you're dropping your child off. It is dangerous. I'm one person. I'm not stopping traffic. I'm not engaging in that. The acceptable drop-off that I publish and post is over at the Jones Gym. Again, if you get here at 7:10, 7:15, 7:20, there won't be an issue, and it's okay. But those are... Yeah, you can drop off on Murray Avenue. They can walk down the ramp. Some will do that.
So yes, my office was closer to the drop-off. So drop-off, we kind of do a zipper, that Friday coming into the Jones Gym parking lot. But just so you'll know, that truth be told, 7:30, that door is locked. So if by chance you get here at 7:30.99, that door's gonna be locked. So they're gonna have to walk up to the front. Okay, so I just want you to be mindful of that. We do kind of give a little bit of like, hey, if you make it in before the door is shut, we won't, hold it against you, but for the most part, the goal is to be here before 7:30. Before 7:30. All right, because Cherry Hill Chapel Avenue traffic is a beast. Okay, it is a beast. And we have new drivers. So keep that in mind too. How well you want your car around those new drivers. The brand new cars or the little hoopties.
Okay, any other questions? So car drop-off is Jones Gym, if you did not get that message. Any other questions? Yep.
So, it's my understanding, because I read the email, to entirety, okay, that, they're not assigned, like, every student doesn't get a locker, they have to actually go to recruit a locker?
I'm going to repeat the question and then Dr. Burns gets to answer. The question on the table is that each student is not assigned a locker initially. They have to request.
They do have to request it. Our experience in, we've been doing this now for several years, that the students really don't want a locker. They don't need a locker. Sometimes it's difficult to get to a locker because there's only 4 minutes of passing time in between classes. A lot of the materials they need are on their district-issued device, or they can access the Google Classrooms. So most students don't need or want a locker. If they do, they go to, they're in the email I indicated where they need to go to Mr. Bird's area down by G2, which is down by the Jones Gym. They will fill out a form, make a request, and then a locker will be assigned to them via their email. They'll find out the information there. So we don't deny them having a locker, but they have to initially request it, because most of them don't need it or want it.
Well, I just wanted to know, if you're in the school, like, how am I gonna get there? I'm trying to find all my cousins. And I was like, you're gonna figure it out, if you're gonna make it work, because he needs a lot. So that's why, like, he was like, I can't miss class, I'm late for class, because we're getting a lot. So is there like a good?
Well, he can go to request a locker during the lunch homeroom time.
Okay, so something to.
Also, when they were assigned, they may have been assigned in a location originally that has nowhere near any of their classes. So it doesn't really serve them good in 4 minutes if it's in a different spot. So not many kids do use them, and when they request them, they're usually in a location that is advantageous for their schedule. Yeah, they usually put them in D-Wing, which is like a central location. Yeah, specifically for freshmen, because that's their hub, is at D-Wing. So if they request them, it's better than everyone getting assigned one and then being in like a location that's not advantageous for the student. So, yeah, and like, it's hit or miss. Some have them, like, I'm on F-Wing, there's a lot of F-Wing and D-Wing. There tends to be hot areas that have them that are high traffic, but if you're all the way in H, well, H doesn't have them. Lower D, right, E-Wing, it's too far from everything. So we try, that's important for those that want them to get them in the locations that they want them in.
I'm back. Yeah, so the question was, what exactly happens with the winter coats? Yeah. So, very few kids seem to show up with winter coats. And the ones that do show up with winter coats, either A, roll it and put it in their backpack. B, I can tell you I house a lot of coats. Like the students will find teachers that they have made a connection with and pop in and say like, hey, can I leave my coat in here till the end of the day? Yeah, yeah. So, but, yes. Exactly.
Then you go back and
Exactly.
next week.
Yeah, we really don't have that many coats in the winter.
And to back that up, I just want to say thank you to the district for the cell phone policy. And I'd like to say thank you guys for informing us parents when there's going to be a rager at our house.
call either of them when one's gonna happen. They'll be on it right away. Okay, other questions? Yes. Okay, so question is related to bringing a device. Students are encouraged, right? We've been a Google Classroom since COVID, honestly, and it is a hot piece of equipment that I think most of the teachers in the district, all departments, want the kids to have. If your child has their own device, they certainly are welcome to bring it. However, the district is proud, probably, to say at this point we are finally a one-on-one district. And we will provide to you a Chromebook device when your child comes to school. They will report to Damaris. Yep, E23. There is specifically a secretary in there that will assign one to them, and it is theirs then for the next 4 years. And then when graduation comes, it is a requirement to then resubmit that to get your diploma. E23. So the LPs are the best time, right? That seems to be an hour in the day where you have some flexibility. Obviously the first day will be busy, but 10:30 to 11:30, the secretary will be in there. Study halls are also an excellent free time. Academic periods are not.
So many teachers, if they're planning their lesson around the technology and a student doesn't have one, they're responsible for the work that they're missing on that device. So it is important that they have something. Like I know in my classroom, I don't use it all the time, but I may have a assignment that's on there. So it's important for them to have a charged Chromebook. And if, maybe it's like extra, I'm not a great charger. My cell phone's always at about 10%. However, bring a charger with them. Usually like, I'll have one class set that I can let someone borrow, but if everyone needs to borrow my one charger, we're out of luck. So a charged Chromebook will get them through the day. It's important for it to be charged. Or bring a charger with them.
The library does provide loaners, but there are only a finite amount. So if your child goes and they're out for the day, then they're out for the day. So again, adding to the responsibility piece, that should become just second nature. Every night, plug it in, wake up, backpack, bring it to school. Yep. Yep. Question is there a specific Chromebook? And there is not. We have everything from Chromebooks down, straight up to the Apple computers. Yep, just a device, a device. And again, remember, we'll provide it to you. Yeah.
We'll provide a Chromebook.
We're not at that point. We're still Chromebooks. Yes, question is, do they keep it for the 4 years? And the answer is yes. Yep.
Now, if the Chromebook is damaged, is there an exchange policy?
Yep. Question is, if their Chromebook is damaged, is there an exchange policy? And yes, if there is something, they would still go see Miss Benitez, Damaris, in E23, and they will do a swap out. Yep. And yep, but the damage, if they cause the damage, they would be responsible for that. It wouldn't just be like, oh, let me give you a new one. Still responsible for that. And they're still responsible also, because I watched it at graduation this year, the charging mechanism. Yeah, I think they charged like $30 for it if you lose that and not submit it at graduation. So that's also something that they would want to maybe like put their name on, because if they end up bringing it to school, that's like a hot stealing commodity. Yeah, definitely. Yes. The question is the process for early dismissals. And it's a QR code somewhere.
We have a QR code posted in the front. It probably will come through with Dr. Burns' letter at one point in time. So you would submit all the information through that particular portal. a Google form that comes to you, and then you'll sign it. You'll fill it out. They'll actually call and verify appointment, actually that you know you're leaving early, or that you're giving permission for them to leave early. They will call on behalf of that. And then they will issue that information to the student. Okay?
And then just one thing, what happens is after that Google form, just so that your child knows, they'll get an email that is then their documentation to get out. Question?
You mentioned this meeting is live streamed, but is it recorded and someone will find it?
Yep. So question is live streamed and recorded, and the answer is yes. We are currently being live streamed and it is being recorded, and that link will be provided.
So I sent the reminder email that I sent out today, had the live stream link. It's the same link. So the same link for live stream is the same link for being recorded, and it's on it's on our YouTube page. It's always there for reference. Yep. Yes.
I just want to say to the parents about the laptop needs the charging cord. I currently have a senior, and I think he lent his charging cord to a friend, and he hasn't seen it since. And at this point, he's like, I don't even know who has it, so I'm sure that's going to be a graduating retirement for him. So you want your student to be kind and nice and share, but make sure they get things back. So that's, you know. And also, if you're, do they still have their district? My son still has his district, I guess, from the middle school coming to the high school. I mean, they're using the same Chromebook, correct? Okay. I just wanted to make sure that he didn't have to return it to the middle school or something like that. Okay.
Just to reiterate, in case you didn't hear, the Chromebook, the question was Chromebook from middle school comes to high school. One district, it comes right along with your child. Again, if there's an issue with the Chromebook, you can always go to E23 to discuss a swap out.
Bring them on in. We'll check.
I understand. It would be in Genesis, right? And so they could probably just reach out to. Okay, the question was if you have some extra Chromebooks laying around at home because all of a sudden they're multiplying, and then now you're hearing about it being a responsibility for graduation to get rid of it. If at any point you would like to check whether or not those Chromebooks belong to the Cherry Hill Public Schools, you can do that through E23. You can also always network through the grade level office. Yeah. Good. Okay, the question is, what about last minute appointments? How does that happen? I'm gonna pass it off. I think I know the answer, but I'd rather come from somebody that wears a bigger hat.
So everything is through the Google form. So even the last minute, everything is a Google form. There are, of course, some exceptions to the rule where everything is locked, stock, and barrel, but for the most part, everything is tracked through the Google form, so we can make sure that our children are safe. Okay.
Honestly, usually what happens is the kids know that there's like this sudden appointment happening, so they say, oh, my mom just submitted the Google form.
Okay.
You know, like we're in the world of like constant communication. Yeah, so.
Let's do us one favor.
Yeah.
Don't call.
Don't call.
They're gonna be in class with you. No, but there's also the link, if you're able to save it onto your phone as a, app as well. Are there any more questions? Yes. So it's on our website. Dr. Burns may place it within also see it as you're walking out the door, if you parked in the front, snapshot it, pull it up, save it, so you will be able to access it.
Yes, it is scheduled to go out of my next class.
And so many of you are, okay, let me go back. How many people are brand new to our district? All right, so we use student IDs to enter in and out of our building. So when you come in to pick up your daughter, your son, you have to use your ID number. You have to know their ID number, okay? So that's what I want anybody who's new to our process to understand. They're not gonna call them by their name. You can't say, hey, sir, I'm here for Samantha King. I need you to say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, okay? Yes, yes, their student IDs are obtainable through Genesis, and of course, always have your ID. We will not release your baby to you. They can look directly, actually like you, and we will say no, okay? Yep, yes, yes, yes. But I know our new parents may not know that, but yes. You all used to using it, we started about maybe, it was like almost 10 years ago, but at least. Any other additional questions? Oh, yes. So we're gonna, that may come through Dr. Burns' newsletter, it may be a link, that's not me, it'll be a link, as well as with the QR code, you will be able to find it, okay?
Also at the front door.
Yes.
Yeah, when you come in, you can do it.
Okay. Any other additional questions? I want to say thank you very much for coming out. This has been great to see your faces. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Any additional questions, please feel free to stop by. I'm in the front of the building, house office, Dr. Burns is in the principal's office. We will be here to support you. Remember, 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 go to Dr. Burns first, come to Ms. Parker second. Have a great school year.